Yeah, thank you guys for coming first off. Secondly, yeah, I was pleased with them. Between yesterday and today, I thought we did a nice job of just showing up and competing and doing well. We really hit a lot of routines, which is good, which really honestly is the expectation now, is that we're hitting routines. And there really shouldn't be a lot of misses at this point. It's more we're just trying to get the details built into the routines. I was pleased we had a lot of sticks on beam and bars, and those were good, right? And we're getting there on vault. Vault's actually still ahead of schedule, but that'll be kind of the next thing to address there. But overall, I think a lot of good stuff, all right? So why don't we pause for just a second?
We'll go about 5 or 6 minutes or so on that. Cool. Good job. Good time. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, questions.
Start with questions.
Yeah, talk about Kamara. She obviously is just coming in freshman year and already looks incredible. Just how you've seen her progress over the fall.
Yeah, good. Well, and she had a little shoulder strain early, so she really, honestly, is just kind of getting going again after a little bit of about 4 weeks of kind of being a little bit limited right there. So really pleased with her, and boy, I can tell she loves to compete, right? And so, man, if we can just string together, I think just some consistent training in front of that, I think she can be one of the best in the SEC, honestly, especially at least amongst freshmen in the SEC. You can tell she's got a wow factor to her, right? And so exciting. That 1.5 that she did on vault yesterday, that was really, we just started getting going on that like last week, and she's like, yeah, I can do it. And I'm like, and that's new. So if that tells you anything about her ability level, we're excited about her. So, yep. All right. Anybody else? Anything else, Nate?
I can keep going.
Yeah, keep going, buddy. Yeah.
So, following up a third place at Nationals last year, how do you do it? What's it going to take?
Yeah, I think it was at the beginning of the year, I was feeling like a little pressure, like how do I repeat that? And then we're moving into the arena as well. And I'm like, all right, listen, our job, how we got here in the first place, how we got to this level was just focusing on doing the best job with our team that year and maximizing ability. And really that's all we're trying to do. If that gets us back to a national final, then awesome, right? But we just want to maximize what our young ladies are capable of. And I certainly think that puts us in the position to be going back to NCAA championships on a yearly basis, though.
You talk about peaking at the right time, making sure you're pacing your team.
Yep.
How are you feeling now after this inter-squad?
Yeah, good. If you would have talked to me like 2 weeks ago, I would have been like not quite as settled. But I feel like today, after what I just saw the last 2 days, I'm like, okay, we're better off than I maybe anticipated right there. So it was nice to see we've got some competitors and they can step it up and do those things. So I feel good about where we're at right here. We got some more stuff to do, and we were actually missing a lot of big routines. Elise will be back for the next one, and that's a big floor and vault for us. Olivia Kelly will be back on vault. Kaya's obviously just got back from World Championships, so we were just going to rest her anyways right there. And so we got some big routines. Addie Lawrence on beam was out today, just wasn't feeling her best, so we're just going to kind of ease up on those guys. So I feel like we're in a good spot, and I'm excited for them. So.
How do you feel about the injury progression coming back from like Lauren McPherson and Grace Davis?
Yeah, so excited. I get a little emotional when I see them getting out there in front of the crowd again. It's good, and they did a good job with it too. So Lauren was really good on bars yesterday, good on beam, little mistake on the dismount right there, and Grace Ann was good too. So it's exciting. Those young ladies didn't have to come back for a 6th year or 5th year or whatever it was, but they chose to, and I think that's exciting that they're gonna perform at the level that they were hoping to. I'm excited for them, but we'll limit Lauren. I feel like we're just going to go bars and beam with her just to be smart, and then Grace Ann, I think we're probably just going to do beam right there, and so and not get greedy, right? Yeah, I think it's easy to get greedy, and I think we've learned from those things, and we just want to make sure they can contribute at the level that they're capable of. Yeah, so.
What's having those two back on the mat? Because yesterday you mentioned that you have a younger team than you're kind of typically used to. So what's their kind of off the mat impact on the squad?
No, I think where we see it is just some competitive experience, right? They get out there, they're calm, they help calm the other people around them. I think it's the things that you don't see is where they contribute the most on those areas in the locker room, just how they conduct themselves from day to day. I think those are just some leadership for our young women, the other ladies on the team. So. Yeah.
So many of your athletes talk about the culture of the team, and you mentioned like Grace Ann and Lauren didn't have to come back, but that was a big reason for them coming back. So how do you kind of cultivate that and year after year continue to be a main factor?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. We see all these not all, but a lot of transfers, they're like, they choose to come to University of Missouri, or we get Helen Hu comes back, or Grace Ann and Lauren and those guys, and they want to, and Elise for that matter, right? And Michaela Green, right? They want to do that year, and they choose to do it at University of Missouri because I think they see the fun that we have here, and I just think we've got a good the work ethic and the fun, the balance. There's a balance there, and we want to make this a great experience. You know, our goal when they're in their post-leotard years really is for them to look back and go, man, that was awesome. From a competitive experience, you know, to a cultural experience, you know, to a relationship. And I think that's the piece, that relationship and communication. Those are the reasons why I think they really enjoy their experience and want to come to University of Missouri. So.
Hannah Horton showing a huge double layout, great beam routine today. What have you seen from her?
So cool,
far?
right? I'm going to probably give you more information, but I love telling this story, right? We went in to recruit Hannah Horton, and she was in this little gym in the back of like a community center in a basketball court, right? And it was crazy. And we walk in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know to be frightened or excited about how great this kid was. And this was where she was training. And so to see her progression from freshman year to where she's at now, like, I mean, it's so exciting, right? That double layout on floor, that is big time, right? And so, you know, and that was intentional too. I just feel like she's more comfortable a little bit, maybe the less twisting we can do, that's better for her. Obviously we can't avoid it everywhere, but I thought on floor that was good, and really just cleaning up that landing a little bit. But that's an impressive pass, so I'm ecstatic. And she did beam today. Did you see her over on beam? That was probably the most impressive thing, right? So, but she's doing great. I expect a big year out of her this year.
Got time for one more?
Sure.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, no,
We
you
can do a
go,
couple.
you can go, Shannon.
We can go Kieran and Nate.
Okay.
and then
So
we'll-
you already talked a little
Yeah.
bit about Kamara, but what about the other freshmen? What are you liking from them?
Good. Yeah, you saw a lot. I mean, Maya did 3 events this weekend, right? She did everything but vault between yesterday and today, and did a good job with it right there. And then Haley did bars and beam, and did a nice job over there. And then Bryce did vault and beam, if I'm not mistaken, over there, and did a nice job. That's the first time I've really kind of had an opportunity to really watch Bryce on beam, and she did a good job over there, and as well on vault yesterday. So a lot of people just chipping in on events, and yeah, pretty impressed. You know, they did a nice job, kind of steady. This, you know, even this can be a little bit overwhelming if you're not prepared, and so I was pleased with how our freshmen stepped up and did a good job today. So
Yeah, you talked about vault and like getting ready to pace them there. You saw a couple 10-0 vaults yesterday.
Yeah.
So who else are you maybe expecting to showcase?
Well, we were missing 3 10-0s yesterday between what I anticipate will be Olivia Kelly and Elise will be back over there. Is looking good, and then Kaya, right? So that on that end, so there's 3 more to add to that. You know, and I think Rayleigh's coming along over there really well. I was pleased with how she did yesterday. Kennedy just overcooked a correction that we were working on, but I would rather have that than the other, quite honestly. And then Hannah was good, and Dakota will be there. She just had a little bit, honestly, of an off day yesterday, but she rebounded nicely today and did a good job on floor. So I think we're pretty strong, and even the fulls in Kamara, that's pretty good. Yep. So even the fulls look pretty good yesterday. So I think we'll get there. We're ahead. We're getting there, but I think you'll see a big improvement, especially all around between now and later in November. We'll have an inter squad there. So
We'll do our last one from Colin.
okay. All right.
Yesterday you said it took you 13 years to finally get in the Mizzou Arena. What's the importance of finally being able to compete in that?
Oh man, I've been asking for that from like day one, right? And so, you know, we just had an opportunity last year. I think, you know, capitalizing on obviously a lot of success last year, and then I think having an athletic director too that really saw the potential, not only in our own team but in the sport as well. And so I think it's huge. You know, I think it's a big signal to our team that, hey, University of Missouri is willing to invest the resources to keep us, you know, competitive at, you know, up here, right? Top 5, top 4, right? And then I think it's also for our fans. Like, it's obviously a great fan experience right there too. You know, we loved Hearns, and there's a lot of history there. We won a lot there, but we're excited about, you know, I just think the ability to put on a show there for our fans. And I think that's the cool thing about gymnastics, right? It's like part athletic event, part like Broadway Cirque show, right? And we want to capture that uniqueness and then allow our fans to really enjoy that. And I think that facility really lends to that between audio visual and just comfortability and infrastructure and those types of things. So